advertising in business and church. I said it. I said church. Don't shoot me yet. You got to hear me out first before you shoot me. But one of the most important aspects of a new business is advertising. Actually, I'm not even going to say new, because if you don't advertise for a business online, whether you have an online store, an online shop, a brick and mortar shop, any kind of business has to advertise. They can do it for free. There's always ways to do things for free. You have got to advertise, just like a church. Now, I call it advertising, but in all fairness, it's more like evangelizing. It is evangelizing. But what you need to understand, that as a church, it is, and you know, when you collect your money from the people, you have got to pay the bills for the church. You have to handle that money properly. You are in charge of making sure they have somewhere to sit, making sure the bathrooms are operating properly, making sure that it is welcoming and inviting, making sure that you take care of what God has given you. So there is a business aspect to church, and you need to realize that there is, because all these things are business decisions. Now, I'm not talking about the message. We are not, I repeat, we're not talking about the message. The message is not a business. The message is not advertising. We're not talking about the message. So take that out of your mind. It's not about the message. The message is totally separate from this conversation. We are talking about operating a Christian business, a church, and how important it is that we advertise. And in the church, in a new church specifically, you have got to tell people you're there. You can't just, and I've seen this over and over again with people that open up websites or open up shops or do online stuff, even physical stores. I was a bookkeeper. I encountered lots of small businesses in my time. And my experience is, and what I have seen, is that people think that once they open that door, the masses are going to run in. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We have got to invest in advertising. We have to tell people we exist. If you're a new church, you have got to do some form of advertising. You've got to get out there. You have to tell people. You actually, I heard this recently where they sent out people in pairs, the church did, people in pairs to businesses with little candy bags. I thought this was a great idea, by the way. So they took these candy bags out to managers of stores and said, can we pray with you? And we would like to invite you to our church. And we want to thank you for what you do in our community. And that following, they do this every single Saturday, from my understanding. And one Sunday, I think it was like recently, they had 30 new people in their church because of that reaching out. It's evangelizing. It's also advertising. It is. But the business of the church is to get out there and to share the gospel. We are supposed to share the gospel. We need to reach souls. So Luke 14:23 says, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So however you want to look at this, you have got to do the work. You have got to get out there, and you have got to tell people that, number one, you exist, that number two, you're sharing the gospel with them. And also, there is nothing wrong with your church having some kind of food pantry where you help people and you get the gospel out. People want help. I'm going to talk about this later this week, so I won't get into it now. You can help people and give them the gospel. You can physically help them and spiritually help them. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.